What's up, guys? Mark Fleetwood here, Old Line Fishing. Today I'm gonna go over my frog fishing setup with you guys so that we can fish stuff that looks like this. Stay tuned, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Alright guys, as you can see, we have tons and tons of grass, matted grass to the surface, and your trusty frog, hollow-bodied frog, is primarily going to be the best way that you have to get through this stuff. Now you can punch. That's a very specific technique. Not a lot of people punch, but I find it a lot better, or a lot easier, to go over the thick stuff than to punch through it. So get started here with the rod. I've done a review on this rod specifically on the previous channel. I don't mind doing it again. This is the St. Croix Bass X, 7'4", heavy, fast action. So frog fishing, you definitely need at least a heavy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Especially going through this thick stuff, you have to be able to move the fish. You have to be able to get them out quickly. You can't let them get stuck in this thick stuff. You can't let them dive on you. Now this is probably the cheapest setup, or I don't want to say cheap, the least expensive setup that I currently use. The Bass X is right at that $100 price point. It's a $99 rod. Paired with it, I have a Bass Pro Shops Pro Qualifier 2. Also, it's a $99 rod, or reel, but it's on sale so often. I think I got it for 70 bucks. I've seen it as low as $59 on sale. So the Pro Qualifier 2, I would not spend full price on this. I would not pay full price for this reel. It's a reel that gets the job done. Don't get me wrong, it's a decent reel. But for $100, a Shimano SLX is a better reel. So if you're looking to go 100 and 100, do the Shimano SLX. If you can find a deal on a qualifier, like I said, it's not a bad reel. It works, just not as comfortable as an SLX or other reels I've used in that $100 price point. Alright guys, another part of a frog fishing setup that is just a has to happen issue, a has to happen part of the setup, is heavy braided line. I'm using 60-pound Power Pro. You can get away with 50, maybe 40. Again, the weight isn't because of the weight of the fish. It's not because you're going to catch a 40-pound bass that could break that line. It's being able to winch them out of this grass as quickly as possible. If you catch a 5 or 6 pound largemouth on a frog, you need to have the power in both the rod and the line itself to ski a fish on top of the water at that size, at that weight. You're not doing that with light line. It's just not going to happen. The braid has zero stretch. Use a braid for frog fishing because you absolutely have to jam the hook set home. The biggest downside of frog fishing is the hookup ratio. I'd say at best it's 50-50. So many frog strikes you just don't get the hookup on. It just doesn't happen. Sometimes they just miss entirely. Sometimes they come up and hit it and they smack it and they never actually bite it. Sometimes you just can't get the hook set up. but you need to have no stretch, and I'll show you why. Hollow body frogs come with 2 hooks, and the way that it's set up, it's almost like 2/3 of a treble. It's one actual hook split into 2, and what happens is during the hook set they can actually kind of fight against each other. If one starts to, you can see it's one and it goes into 2, but as you're trying to set the hook, it can roll one way or roll the other way. It kind of rolls against each other, so you just have to have a ton of power to get a good hook set with both of those hooks in. And sometimes you don't get both, but when you do, fish don't normally get off. So one thing with frogs, you can miss a lot of bites and you can miss a lot of hook sets, but typically once they're pegged, they're in there. So guys, with the Bass X, it's got a little bit more versatility than what you would typically think of with a 7.4 heavy or heavy fast. Now you can throw heavy jigs on this, you can throw your frogs obviously. If I take this 60-pound braid and tie on a 15 to 20-pound mono leader, I can go out into open water and I can fish a spook or any type of walking bait, a rover, a vixen. I can use this for a walking bait with treble hooks, or even a whopper plopper, because St. Croix rods in general are just a little bit slower than traditional fast. So this fast is just a little bit slower than a traditional fast. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility when using treble hooks. So you don't have to worry about straightening or just ripping trebles out of the fish's mouth. It's going to give you a little bit more load up. It's just a little bit softer than the traditional fast and for heavy power. So it gives you a little versatility. If you're somebody who's looking to be able to frog fish, but you don't have the budget to have a dedicated frog rod, this is definitely can be a go-to. This thing will cast well anything 3/8 ounce or better, 3/8 ounce chatterbait, jig, anything along those lines. Bigger, if you're somebody who does a lot of offshore fishing, 7.4 heavy fast here, you wouldn't usually use for a crankbait rod, but for your big, deep divers, you can use this. It's slow enough to where, again, it's not going to pull trebles. It's not quite parabolic, but it's slow enough to where for an all-purpose rod, it's very versatile. I don't really anticipate catching anything here today. It's midday. Honestly, it's just been so long since I put a video out. I feel horrible about it. Things have been crazy. We had a hurricane come up the coast, kind of screwed up fishing for a little bit. Actually, we have more coming, it looks like. Work has been tough. Dog days of summer. It's been extremely hot. Just all kinds of different conditions to not be able to go out and fish and not be able to put out good content. I'm not making videos just to do them. I want to make sure it's something good, something that people will want to watch and the viewers will want to watch. So with that being said, don't anticipate catching a fish today, but I at least wanted to get out here and put together a video on what I look for in a frog rod, a frog setup. How important it is to have those certain aspects. You have to have a heavy power or better. A lot of people throw extra heavy, and there's nothing wrong with extra heavy. Fast gear ratio, I say 7.5 to 1 or better on your reel. And that extra heavy, dark moss green or black braid is really the keys. One last key to frog fishing that most people know, but I'll reiterate again. Give it a countdown. Give it at least a 2-second countdown. If you get a bite, let the fish take it. Wait till you feel the weight of the fish and then set the hook. It's a little bit different than almost any other style of fishing I've ever done, but man, is it exciting when it's on. When a frog bite is on, it is exciting. So hey guys, that's my video. One last thing, I'm going to put a picture up on this video. I've got my first large order of crankbaits. Did one video early on about painting a crankbait. So I've actually gotten an order. I will be painting at least 25 crankbaits for a gentleman, along with some swim baits, some jointed swim baits. I will keep posting different pictures into videos and stuff of some of the crankbaits. If anybody is interested in the painting videos, it did not do well. I think it still only has like 16 views. But if you're interested in any of the painting videos or any of the particular patterns that I end up selling, let me know and I will make a video on it. So thanks guys, thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long. I will get back to a normal schedule. Thanks. Peace.